Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our leading stocks via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Wednesday, July 10th, 2013. Most of the sectors, as we go through the list, are going to be mostly paired off as far as signals go. But there is one pocket of strength that we'll talk about in just a little bit. Right now the NASDAQ side is fairly well paired off, a little bit to the sell side, but we don't really have a real dominance. We do have a couple of volume bumps here. We've got one in Qualcomm, Netflix, and Sina. Sina tried to get up close to a new high, but reversed and is now below the day's open. Last couple of days it has been strong, but that may continue to be in place, so I keep that as a carryover on the list. Netflix very, very strong today, 5% below the day's open. Qualcomm is to the downside, about 1% below the day's open, and on much better than typical volume. Moving on to the financials. Financials are a little bit to the sell side, but nothing too dominant. A lot of weakness today in ICE, quite a bit more than 2% below the day's open. Also weakness in the NYX. Got a couple signals here in Sallie Mae SLM, but it's on very, very light volume. The only thing that's really trading decent volume is Visa, which is kind of reversing off of a range high move. So even though we don't have a signal, might want to keep an eye on that. Keep that on the list for the next session. Looking at the energy stocks, this is where we're starting to have a bit of a theme here today. Oil turned around and is now higher on the day by more than 50 cents, and the energy names are starting to pick up steam here. Got quite a bit of upside CPS conditions. ExxonMobil, Schlumberger, Rig. All these names are probably going to be continuing to the upside tomorrow. So tomorrow we expect that the day's high gets taken out before today's low. So definitely keep an eye on those for the next session. The generals fairly well paired off here between buys and sells. John Deere is having a real strong session. DE, that's 2% above the day's open on some pretty decent volume. Moving on to the housing names, not really too much here as far as signals go, but we do have a very, very strong day going to Toll Brothers and also DHI. Both of those are more than 5% above the day's open. So since those names have been beat up, you might want to keep an eye on those for tomorrow. Transportation is a little bit biased to the buy side here. Ton of volume today in FDX. FDX ran up to the 8 ace line on the daily today and is starting to pull back off its high a bit. But very, very strong session there. CSX also very strong. I think a lot of these are probably sympathy moves. And finally, taking a look at the commodity names. Again, like the energy names, fairly strong. A couple of them are weak. FCX and Barrick Gold is weak, but the rest of them are trading decently to the upside here. Mosaic MOS is 2.5% below the day's open with an upside CPS. Monsanto MON 1.5% above the day's open with the CPS, so those would definitely be on my list for tomorrow. Alcoa reported yesterday, so it's getting a volume bump as traders sort that out. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.